Rev up your engines! All right, in my never-ending search to help you find the right car, today we're going to talk about this Mazda CX-50, brand new car. It's a real car that a guy bought. He's got like 10,000 miles on it now. It's not some advertising for a company. It's real. Mazda's got a whole bunch of SUVs out. Are they something that are worth buying? Now, this 2025 CX-50 went for $33,000. You got them down some. It turns out that now, as it stands today, the CX-50 is their big seller. It's even bigger than the less expensive one for a lot of reasons. It's got more room inside. You can see it's pretty roomy here. And when you put the back seats down, man, you have a lot of space. That's one of the big selling points of the CX-50. It has more space. Yes, it costs more money than the smaller ones. Mazda has so many CXs, it'll make your head spin. You know, CX-5, CX-50s, CX-30s, CX-70s now, CX-90s, right? And it's a whole family of vehicles. So how the heck would you know which one you want to buy? Now, he's single, so he doesn't need third row seating, right? So, if you want third row seating, then you're going to go up to the CX-90, and it's a completely different ball game. You're going to pay a heck of a lot more money, but you get the 6-cylinder turbo engine, puts out a ton of horsepower. They cost a lot of money, all right? They got a lot worse gas mileage than this thing does too. You always have to think about that if you're buying yourself an SUV. Realize one thing about SUVs, they're all somewhat gas thirsty. Now, I bought this one because he listens to me. He got the non-turbo version. It's a 2.5 liter non-turbo. It has real automatic transmission, not a CVT. That's a big deal with Mazdas. They like to zoom, zoom. Everybody knows you get a lot more acceleration and driver's feel with an actual automatic with gears than you do with the CVT. And of course, these are pretty dependable automatic transmissions too. Mazda did have transmission problems up the wazoo, but that was 30 years ago or more. I had a customer with one in the 80s, went through 3 automatic transmissions before the car had 90,000 miles on it. That's not the case anymore. Now, in the real world, he drives this thing, he gets 30 miles a gallon on a highway. And since it's all-wheel drive, it's got a big 2.5 liter engine with the SkyActiv technology, that is what you're going to get. That's good gas mileage for a vehicle this size, that's all-wheel drive, has a real automatic transmission in it. And he gets mid-20s in town, depending on how fast he's driving, low 20s, right? It's a powerful car. You don't really need a turbo in one of these. And as we look inside, so look at the outside, it's got nice wheels. It's dirty because it's raining today. You can't do anything about that. This is my favorite. It has nice cloth and faux leather trim. They're very comfortable seats, and they will last a long time. But the WeatherTech one, he didn't want to spend a bunch of money at the dealer for their fancy ones that cost too much. And the WeatherTech ones, I gotta say, they're pretty good. The rubber will keep anything from making a mess, and you can pull them out and clean them real easy. You can either drive it in automatic, or you can put manual, and you can shift up and down using this to shift it. We'll start her up and show you. What you do, V, you put it manual, it's making noises, it's down, and that's up. You can see. You can shift gears manually if you want, or just put it in dry like most people and drive it that way. It's got auto hold for the braking, and it has an electric parking brake. They almost all have that today. You don't get much choice. Now, it's got a decent monitor here. We'll see what the backup looks like. Nice backup. You can see the matrix. Nice wide angle. You can see both streets, so you can see quite a bit around. The HVAC system is dual control, easy to do. Look, colder, hotter, simple, very easy to do. And look, actual buttons. You get to push real buttons, not just digital crap. I like that. He's got just a little over 10,000 miles on it. So far he's had zilch problems, no problems with it at all, which I'd expect. These are pretty well-made vehicles. He's got 380 miles left, and he drove over here a little ways. So a good range, no range anxiety in this thing. Got Android Auto or Apple CarPlay or whatever you want. For those of you who like that kind of thing, it's got a humongous sunroof, dual, front and back. The water's beating up pretty good. I'm not a fan of sunroofs, but if you're out looking at the moon, I suppose it would come in handy. That's got a very smooth, quiet operation, I'll say that. So you have trouble getting in and out of cars, check it out. Every door, including the driver's, has a nice handle to pull up. I like that. That's a nice touch. It has collision avoidance, which you can turn off if you want. There it's telling you it's off. You can also turn the traction control off if you want. Then it says traction control is off. And it has various drive modes. Here we go. It's got sport, zoom zoom, normal, or even off-road. I'm gonna leave it in sport mode. I like the dash because it's traditional, and I like it that way. You got the speedometer right in front of you, right? Then you got the tach to the left, temperature and fuel. Everything that you need to know right in front of you. As I said, these seats are ultra comfortable, and the way they're made, they should hold up quite well. I like these seats a lot better than actual leather seats. They're much harder to maintain. These are cooler in the summer. They warm up better in the winter. So let's close the hood and take it for a spin. Back we go. Like I said, it's got a nice backup camera on it. Maybe I'll actually buy a car that has a backup camera one day. Mine are all too old. They don't have backup cameras on. I gotta say, they're handy. My wife would really like it. And what's the first thing I notice? This baby idles smooth as silk. And we'll take it on the horrendous Rhode Island roads. We'll go over to the big water bump here. That's to keep water from flooding my neighbors. It actually went over pretty good. Let's see what happens on these. It is all-wheel drive, so they generally ride a little bit rougher. Let's see. Pretty good, I gotta say. They've gone through a lot in their suspension systems. The older Mazdas, they were like little washing machines to get you where you're going, but they bounce all over the place. This, no. This is a pretty stable car. And it's raining, so to give a good test of the all-wheel drive system when we take off. So far, I think, on this horrible road here. Now here we come to the insane intersection. There's always nobody on one side and everybody on the other side. So, they're coming from everywhere. Here we go, and we'll give it some serious gas now. It handles, no slip. Now, granted, truthfully, it would have a lot more zip if it had the turbocharged engine, but a turbocharged engine is not going to last as long. And this guy watches my videos, he wants a car that's going to last. Because his last car was an Audi with a 2-liter turbo, and at 100,000 miles, it completely fell apart, and he said he's never going to buy another Audi. So he watched my videos, and he bought this because he wanted the 2.5-liter, 4-cylinder, non-turbo, with an actual automatic transmission in it, and he's completely happy with it. Gotta say, on this wet road, this baby handles like a dream. We'll give it some gas going up the hill. Look at that. No wheel slip, no nothing. This thing will handle in the weather quite well. The modern conveniences tells me this subdivision has a speed limit of 25 miles an hour. So you know what the speed limit is. And no problem with it slipping. Full power, didn't lose anything. It's in sport. The traction control, the anti-slip works perfectly. And yeah, if you're a speed demon, you'll be a lot happier with a turbocharged one, but hey, time will tell you it will wear out faster. Now realize that Toyota has a certain ownership of Mazda, and they're sharing a lot of their technology. So, this all-wheel drive system performing flawlessly, and the Toyota all-wheel drive system's never had any real problems, so I haven't seen any in these either. They're sharing a lot of their technology, and hey, for something that's as much fun to drive like this, yet still gets 30 on the highway, hey. Now realize, of course, you're driving in town, you drive really fast, the gas mileage will be a lot lower, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It is an SUV after all, they're slightly higher. All-wheel drive systems always get a little bit worse gas mileage. The verdict is, if you're looking for an SUV, you definitely want to at least road test one of these, or any of the other CXs. There are so many of them out there. Now, I have driven the CX-90s, and they are screamers, right? But they're going to get a lot worse gas mileage, and from the real prices in the world, not the advertised low prices, that's BS, because I've looked up, they say, well, they start at $32,000, right? And then I look locally here, they're all $42,000 to $48,000. So go buy what they actually cost at the dealer. Don't listen to any of their BS advertising. if you're going to buy a CX-90, not only are you going to get worse gas mileage, but you're going to shell out at least $20,000 more. Do you want to spend $20,000 more to get a third row seat? Maybe you do. It's your money, right? And yes, there's relatively new design, but that straight 6-cylinder engine, from what I've seen, is pretty much bulletproof. I've seen no problems with them whatsoever. It's just that you're going to get worse gas mileage, you can have third row seating, but you're going to spend $20-something thousand more. That's a lot of money, right? And that's something you got to decide yourself. But from my own perspective, I think he made a smart move, because this non-turbo engine's going to last. The transmission's going to last. It handles great with that all-wheel drive system, which they haven't had any problems with them. They're not CVTs. So, now you know a little bit more about their CX series, all the crazy numbers that they have. There's a lot of similarities to all of them. You know, other than the CX-90's got the 6 turbos. Do you want to maximize long life, like this one? Do you want to maximize acceleration and get a turbo, even I'd warn you not to get a turbo? Now, that said, they're pretty well-made cars, so if you get rid of your cars every 100,000 miles, go ahead and get the turbo. You'll get a little bit worse gas mileage, you'll have a lot more zoom zoom. That's up to you, it's your money. But before you do anything, don't listen to anything the salesman says. They're trying to sell you crap, right? But just put earplugs in and road test them. Our Matrix is great because we can fit 2 folding bicycles in it. When we put the 2 back seats down, we can fit 2 full-size folding bicycles into it, then get them out, snap them back together and drive around, and then put them back in, and away we go. Unfortunately, the more modern ones, like a Toyota Corolla Cross, it doesn't have the space that does, so I would never buy one, because we couldn't fit 2 folding bicycles that we use all the time. So, whatever your needs are, bring a measuring tape with you. See, is this big enough to fit what I want to fit? Drop the seats down, see if you like the way that it is. And believe it or not, I've had customers buy these things, and they buy the one that has more space, because they actually go camping in the vehicle. And when they put those seats down, they want to make sure they can fit in the back seat. So you could really shake up a salesman by saying, well, let me see something. Put the seats down and lie down, and maybe even bring a pillow with you. Say, I got to try this out. See if you can fit in the back of it. And you'll find that the bigger ones have a lot more space than the smaller ones for that. So do a little hands-on testing and realize if you pick any of the ones that they make, they're all decent vehicles. 2.5 liter, no turbo, actual automatic gears. Now, you don't really have much of a choice. They're almost all-wheel drive. Now, personally, I'd go for a non-all-wheel drive, but all these companies have this bug up their butt of all-wheel drive. They think everybody wants all-wheel drive, so a lot of them only make all-wheel drive. It's a good system. You get a little bit worse gas mileage. That's what I don't like about them. It's not like they're going to break down on you and fall apart like his Audi did, but he wised up and bought this instead. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.